Welcome to Health in the Real World podcast. Today I'm speaking with Stephenie Rose. I was out in the field. I was out of my studio, so I was using my cell phone for the Zoom call. So the audio sounds a little bit muffled. I apologize about that. But we are talking about the Tower Garden today and how amazing it is. So I'm super excited to share this episode with you. Enjoy.
It's the Health in the Real World podcast. It's time to start the show with Chris Janke as your host. Here to give you everything that you need when it comes to fitness strategies. We keep it simple and easy. It's your roadmap to get healthy. You don't need equipment and you don't need a gym. Just the right strategies to get you fit and trim.
Health in the Real World podcast today, of course, is sponsored by Tower Garden. Go to my website, my affiliate link, mycorebalance.com/grow, and you can check out the Tower Garden yourself and get it going. All right, here I am with Stephenie Rose. Thanks for joining.
Literally every day, because I eat salads like twice a day. Yeah. Literally every day, I'm pulling stuff off this thing for lunch and dinner. It's crazy. And look at this down here. So those are my Japanese cucumbers coming in. It's freaking massive. And you can tell where and it continues to grow. Yeah. So do you take yours down to the base? How do you pull them off?
I usually use my nail and my thumb.
That's what, yeah, me too.
Like this. So that way, if you pull it right, you'll pull the root out. But that's great. So you're already at the point where you can't eat it fast enough, right? It just grows back.
Oh yeah, 100%. So I mean, I come out here every single day and bag up enough for lunch and dinner while I'm getting my protein ready or it's cooking or whatever. I come out and pull. You can see. I mean, I think I pulled those day before yesterday. But anyways, yeah, I have to get brand new, and then I just dampen it because it's organic. I mean, I don't have to wash it. So I dampen a paper towel, and then I put whatever I have on that paper towel, roll it up, and it's crisp and yummy. I mean, it's incredible. That stuff is incredible.
Yeah, it's amazing. Yeah, the kids pick our Tower Garden so much, and I always get nervous that they're going to pick it all off, but it just grows right back.
Yeah.
Crazy.
I will say I'm a little nervous to have this big, Japanese cucumber. That's 2 plants. That's it, Chris. And then the only thing that I notice is inside. Do you have the white roots like that?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. If the roots get into the pump, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. If the roots get in the pump, that's not good. But
I mean, I think I'm okay right now. But I mean, this thing is. I mean, it's just growing like insane. And I'm still. Huh?
What do you have? Kale, basil.
I have basil,
cucumber.
kale. My favorite lettuce, arugula, and it's not the baby arugula, it's hardy arugula, which I love, right? It's more peppery. So to me, it has a lot more flavor. And then Swiss chard here, and then rainbow chard on the other side. Butter lettuce, red leaf lettuce, and the mix of green here. Basil, and then more chard.
That's crazy.
So yeah,
awesome.
It's crazy. So I mean, that's pretty grand looking. I've been picking off of it for 3 weeks now. So I'm happy. Yeah. It's amazing.
That's awesome. That is so cool. So when you've had Tower Garden, how long have you had Tower Garden? Like a month?
5 weeks.
5 weeks?
And let's be clear, as you know, I was totally nervous to try and set it up by myself, right?
I remember that.
Yeah, I'm like, can you come and help me? And then when you look at this thing, it looks like it's overwhelming because there's so many pieces that come to it, with the box or whatever. Right. But once I laid it all out, I'm like, oh, okay, a 5-year-old can do it.
Yeah.
It's time consuming more than anything, but it's kind of fun.
Instead of going to the fridge, you just walk outside,
I'm telling you.
Pick as much as you want. Yeah, you know what's cool is that, so I know in the instructions it says you have to make little baby sprouts before you put them into the garden. And I was thinking like, wait a second, why does it have to be 2 steps? So I tried it. You can just put the seeds straight into those little cubes and put them right in and just like soak them one time. And then they, because the pump waters it like 4 times an hour or something, right? They're super
Yeah,
moist all the time,
for
right?
3 minutes.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
I hate that
so
part.
that was one of my experiments, and it worked, right? The seeds actually blossomed and they're fine. And then the other experiment that I had was, kale hates hot weather. Kale is a winter crop, right?
I didn't
And
know that.
I only found
Okay.
this out a couple weeks ago, and you wouldn't know that looking at the Tower Garden kale because it's super happy, right? It's getting
No.
enough water. Super happy, right? So
Mhm.
I took one of my kale plants out of the Tower Garden and I planted it in the dirt to see how it would do. And it's still living, it's doing fine, but during the day it's like, oh, and it's just wilted, right?
Yeah.
It hates the sun, it hates the
That's
heat.
funny.
Yeah, but the Tower Garden kale, it's its cousin plants right over there are doing just fine. And but it's funny, at night and in the morning, the kale that I planted in the dirt, it looks great, but in the middle of the day,
Sure.
it's wilting. But it's amazing how the Tower Garden, just like all those plants are just super green and like whoop, just super
They're
happy.
amazing. Yeah, they're very happy. I did the same thing because I had some extra butter lettuce. So I planted them over there. I think they lasted 3 days. I'm not gonna lie. I mean,
That's crazy.
like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's crazy. And I watered them, but they were more in, I don't know, full sun, same side of the house as my
Yeah.
tower garden's on, but facing just the opposite direction. So maybe they just got too much sun. But I've
Right.
never seen anything like this. And I'm no gardener. Let's just be completely clear. So, this is city girl proof, honest to God.
It is city girl proof, and it's city guy
girl
proof too.
and suburban girl proof, because you can't screw it up. It does everything for you.
Yeah, it is like a plug and play garden that you literally just put out in your yard. Yeah, it's the easiest thing in the world. And especially, in California, I don't think we're going to have to pull it inside in the winter. It never freezes. So I think we're going
I
to
hope not. I'm not going to be able to do that.
Yeah,
I don't have any room in my house. I hope not.
Yeah. I think it'll be fine. But it's been super cool just having this out there and having that garden. And, I'll forget about it for a couple days. Oh, shoot, I didn't water it, but I'll look at it and it's like everything's like this much bigger than it was the last time I saw it.
Yeah, it's a trip.
Yeah.
It's a trip. I mean,
cool.
something about leaving the kale. I just want to go back to the kale situation. I don't know about yours, but I got the dinosaur kale, seeds, and it's so much sweeter and has better flavor than even the organic that I buy in the grocery store. And it could just be me, or maybe I'm pulling it and eating it straight away, so it's different, but it tastes better to me. So, it's not bitter. It's and it's not so, even the spine in kale, normally you have to take the spine out of your kale. I don't do that with this.
Yeah. Well,
So.
is it true that even foods can be labeled organic in the stores, but still have a little bit of pesticides on them? Isn't that legal? I heard that somewhere, that like they're organically grown, but then they can spray them later, or I don't know.
Right.
I don't know.
So, it's not supposed to be like that, and I'm sure that people do get away with doing that, but it's not supposed to be like that. Like this, we're governed to where organic means organic, and stores actually are monitored for that. But I mean, farms and everything are monitored for that.
Yeah.
However, I don't know. So I don't want to put something out there that's not 100% factual. I can research that for you. I'm good at it.
All right.
And find out. But I can't answer that for you.
There's definitely something amazing, even if it is 100% organic and it comes from the farm. It was picked a day or 2 or 3 or 5, right? Versus it was picked a minute and a half ago.
Literally.
Right? Yeah.
I had kale, Swiss chard, arugula, and regular lettuce in my salad for lunch today, and it was just like this incredible fresh pop of just nutrition. I could taste the nutrition going into my body. I love that. So
Amazing. And you're doing 2 salads a day, right?
Yeah, I love salad. So I was buying the organic box of spring mix, once or twice a week. I haven't bought that for 2 weeks now, 3 weeks, to whatever. Yes, I do a salad usually twice a day with I do a protein and then put it on top of lettuce, but I really like that. So that's, not everybody likes to have salad all the time, but I love it. And if I'm doing like tacos, I do the lettuce wrap thing. So I really do go through lettuce like crazy, or heartier leafy greens. So yeah, I do. I'm a lettuce salad girl. I wanted to ask you, so where do we get more of those little what we put the seeds in so I could plant more stuff? Do I have to order it from the company?
Yeah, the rock wool cubes. Yeah, you can order it from the company. I could send you a link.
That'd be great.
Yeah, they're I did the math on it. You buy, I don't know, 100, I think it's 100 for $19, so it's 19 cents each. That's what it works out to be, right? So
Okay. I think I can handle that. Yeah. Seriously, I plan on doing this year round. Yeah, we find. I think the only thing we can't grow is root vegetables. You were mentioning that to Dana the other day, which makes sense.
Root vegetables and trees. So like fruit, apples, pears, right? Which again makes sense, right?
Yeah, a little bit.
But yeah, you can grow lettuces. You can grow, like you saw, you have cucumbers. You can do tomatoes, pumpkins, squash. What else? Oh, berries. You can do berries.
Oh, okay. I eat blueberries every morning, so okay. Yeah. Actually,
berries,
blueberries are a bush.
Yeah, blueberries are great.
Yeah, so we can do strawberries.
Yeah. They take, you can do strawberries. I saw a picture of a tower garden. It was 100% strawberries.
Really? I bet that was cool.
It was like this huge bush. It was awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. That would be kind of fun for a larger family to have two tower gardens, one for fruits and one for vegetables, right? So, I mean,
that's our plan. That's what we're gonna try to do. I want to get one more, and have the berry garden.
Berries, and you can do cantaloupes and melons of some sort, I'm sure too, because they're above ground. I don't know what season we're in, but yeah.
That would be. One thing though with the tower garden is I think it sort of gets rid of the seasonality of it, right? Like kale. I think normally, I'm not an expert by any means, but I think normally you would plant your kale seeds in like September, October, I think. Because literally, right? The kale that I planted in the dirt, it absolutely hates the heat. It just like completely wilts. But the tower garden will prop up those winter crops in the summer. And then I think though, if you want to do the opposite, like if you want to plant a summer crop in the winter, like a tomato, for example, tomatoes really like the heat, right?
Yeah, they like sun.
Kind of greenhouse or something like that. I think you need to seal them in.
Yeah, I agree. And it's funny. So back to kind of the bio-individual, what I talk about with clients, a lot of times seasons play a huge part of what clients want to eat. I mean, we go into this hibernation mode in winter, so we want warm, cozy, feel-good food, right? So along with that, that's why root vegetables, you can roast them. It's more of a seasonal. So I really believe that if you're listening to your body's going to tell you, it's not going to want cantaloupe and cold salads when it's when it's cold outside, right? It's going to want something that is a little bit more. So in planning for people and myself, in planning my tower garden, moving into different seasons, I'm going to pay attention to what the seasonal veggies or greens or whatever are, so that kale is better for a heartier soup, right? So that's probably why kale is you often see it more in the winter time than you do in the summer. So I think paying attention to that and what people will use in their tower garden per season, or what their family's really liking, or what they crave, if you will, and listening to your body. And that way you're still getting key nutrients, but you're actually planting for yourself or your family. So it's kind of a fun little thought.
I think so. And definitely, it's huge. And things grow so much faster, right? So as the seasons change, you can real quickly, take some of those planter box things out, put new ones in, and then 3-4 weeks later, boom, you're harvesting.
Yeah.
It's pretty amazing.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's amazing. Honestly. Well, that's because you said, and when you say, okay, this thing is awesome, it's like people need to listen.
A lot of products are like, that's a good product, but there's probably other products that are similar. But this one, I'm like, oh, I'm getting that right now.
Yeah.
And you had the
Yeah.
same response. It was like, oh yeah, I'll
Same.
buy it right now. Tell me where to go, I'll buy it.
Yep. And I did. I mean, that very afternoon, it was like, whatever it takes, I want this thing. And it's such an investment. It's not like it's an open-ended thing. You pay a certain amount a month, you're done in 12 months, and it's yours. It's pretty simple.
Yeah, I really like how they do that. $50 a month for a year.
Yeah.
And,
absolutely.
And it's yours. Yeah, there's no finance charges. And what got me in the door was I'm like, all right, I'm definitely going to spend more than $50 a month on vegetables. So I might as well grow my own vegetables and pay the same or a little bit less. So yeah.
Right. Or we buy the vegetables and then they go to waste, right? That's the other thing. Right. It's like, okay, I'll go to the grocery store, I'm going to buy all these vegetables, and then half of that money goes right in the trash because they go bad before you can eat them. This way, you're pulling them as you want them.
And that's a great point. Yeah, it's interesting. Like, one thing I have been getting into in the last, say, like year, I've been researching gardening, like sustainable gardening. For example, like I was watching this carrot farmer on YouTube, and he was showing how to get carrot seeds out of a carrot. And basically you leave the carrot in the ground all winter long. And so you have this one carrot that's been in there 2 years. And by the end of the second year, it's growing this huge, it's like 4 feet tall, just like this elaborate web of branches and seeds and stuff. And out of that one carrot, he was just showing, he's like, okay, guys, look at this. You have like this one shoot, and then you have these 25 little branches that come off of it. And then out of those 25 little branches, each of those has these little sub branches, and you keep multiplying it out. One carrot will give you like 5,000 seeds or something ridiculous like that. That's crazy. So I've been really fascinated by nature's return on investment.
When you find something as simple as the tower garden, again, it's foolproof. I can't say enough about it. And right out of the gate, I was like, there's no way. I'm going to kill these. I'm going to kill these seeds. It's not going to work, right? And if you just do what it says, all you have to do is put a little bit of water until they sprout. And now you're saying I could just put them in and, do it as in the tower itself. But honestly, Chris, I was like, man, I'm going to kill this dude because I'm going to kill every single seed that I have just put in these little mossy things. This is not going to work. And boom, boom, boom. In like 4 days, I'm like, oh my God, they're like having babies. I was so excited. I'm like, oh my God, it's working.
So, like you said, it's city girl proof.
It's completely city girl proof and suburban girl proof. Okay. I'm just saying. Proof, yes.
You don't have to be a farmer anymore. It doesn't work for you.
No. And there's no dirt.
Cool. It's the easiest thing in the world. Yeah. Cool. I think this was a good idea for a podcast for today.
It's good.
It's real. We're just talking our experience, and you and I, neither one of us is salesy. Yet at the same time, I do think that everybody needs to buy one of these. It is literally, it's in the top 2 purchases of my life. Number 1 was the Vitamix, the blender, which I've had for about, 10 or 12 years. The Vitamix has a 7-year warranty, and I've outlasted it. And you know what I do? I take the kale from the Tower Garden and I put it into my Vitamix. My 2 greatest purchases of my life.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. I have to say, this is one of my favorite purchases that I've made, and especially because it helps me with what I put in my mouth, and that's obviously super important to me. So, and it forces you. It's like, I got to eat some of this bounty that I have back here. There's so much growing. I don't want to waste it, right? I actually took some kale the other night because it was growing so crazy, and snipped off a bunch of leaves and just sauteed it with some garlic and olive oil. And I was like, this is something that I wouldn't just go grab kale at the grocery store for, right? And it was so good. So, I mean, there's so much you can do with different things that you pull off of that thing, or you grow, I should say, on that thing. I get fired up about it. My sister, poor thing. I'm like, Dana, you got to do this. She's like, okay, let me figure out a way I can do this. I know. Everybody's got to get one. It's one of those things where you cannot afford not to get it, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
You can't afford not to have it.
It's literally true. And it sounds like hyperbole, but it's literally true, where it literally is cheaper to have a tower garden than to go to the store. And it's so much healthier, so much better, so much easier.
Yeah,
it's like
all of that.
Every level. It's a win on every level.
See you next week.
That was a good episode.
Yeah,
All we do is talk. But I think that was good. It's just real. It's just real. Yeah.
And real's good. People like to see that, right? People like to see what we believe in and what we actually use.
Thanks for listening to the Health in the Real World show. Make sure to like and subscribe and comment down below. Visit mycorebalance.com to learn more.